Hello everyone once again, this is Rob. Welcome back to Media Awareness and another first reaction video. Before I continue, a reminder though, the fundraiser continues. For those of you new to my channel or unaware, I am a disabled individual and I use a motorized wheelchair slash scooter all day every day for my independence and I need your help. My insurance will not cover anything with regard to my scooter as they view it as a quote luxury item end quote, despite the fact that I am unable to walk whatsoever, in addition to being unable to use any other type of scooter or power chair, or even a standard wheelchair for that matter, as I only have limited dexterity in one hand. In addition to that, I do not have a backup scooter or wheelchair to rely on at the current time. So if my scooter should malfunction as it did a few months ago, I will yet again be a fish out of water, a scenario I want to avoid at all costs. With that stated, below the title of this video and the description below, as well as in a separate section below the information pertaining to the video I'll be reacting to, you can find a spot fund link. It is a fundraiser, it's easy to contribute, it takes a few seconds, and any and all help is welcome. I cannot stress that enough. Even $5 or $10 can make all the difference in the world, and you can even contribute anonymously. The purpose of the fundraiser is to both assist me with the ongoing refurbishing of my existing scooter, as well as to help me save for the purchase of a new scooter. I arrived at these conclusions following the malfunction, as alluded to a moment ago, whereby my battery charging mechanism had failed entirely, and for roughly 2 weeks I needed to be pushed around my own home by family and friends, severely limiting my independence. However, it was that long overdue wake-up call that I need a backup plan, and that backup plan is to have a brand new scooter to use moment to moment, day to day, every day, and my existing scooter completely refurbished, waiting in the wings to be used at a moment's notice, if necessary, when necessary. So please do what you can. I would greatly appreciate it. I do want to extend a gracious thanks to those who have contributed thus far, in addition to those who plan on contributing. Every contribution tab and will make a world of difference in my life. Thank you all. I love you all. If you're not yet subscribed to Media Awareness, my channel, please consider subscribing and becoming part of the Media Awareness family. I'd love to have you. Also, if you do so, be sure to click the bell icon. That way you'll be notified whenever I upload a new video, much like this one. So this is a first reaction of sorts to a track that is to be featured on the upcoming release of Buckingham Nicks, their original album prior to joining Fleetwood Mac. And this is an album, as I stated in my Fleetwood Mac uh, reaction of Rhiannon Live from 1975. This album itself really uh, was part of the Fleetwood Mac catalog for that particular lineup. And it's a solid album, and I cannot wait to finally have an authentically released copy to uh, have in my collection and to also um, listen to, as opposed to the bootlegs that we've had to sort of gather over the years as fans of this album. And that's been sort of the main source of obtaining this album. I actually have an MP3 version of this album from a very scratched vinyl copy. Um, and I was happy with that for the longest time. But this is an official uh, remaster re-release. I'm assuming it would seem that's how it's being presented and it's being presented also in multiple formats, in MP3, CD, vinyl. It's all over the place, and it's obviously here on YouTube with all my reaction videos. It's linked below. I do this because the musicians, the bands who create this music for us, the fans, do so with the utmost creativity and integrity, and they deserve all the credit in the world for their hard work. So always click on those links. Also, by clicking on the link, you will be able to access more detailed information regarding this release itself, and you can pre-order accordingly. So, like I said, this is a sort of reaction. I've heard this song before. I've only heard bootleg copies. I've never heard an actual clean mix of this song. So I'm excited for this, and I don't want to hold back any longer. Here we go. First reaction: Buckingham Nicks "Frozen Love," a clean remastered version. I'm gathering, and will soon be available to us as fans. Actually, a week today. So mark your calendars, people, and pre-order. However, in the meantime, watch me react to Frozen Love, and I'll be back following this with my assessment.
You may not be as strong as me, and I may not
So there you have Buckingham Nicks with the re-release of Frozen Love, which is due out a week today. So pre-order your copies now in your choice of formats. We're going to talk about this a little bit because I noticed some things in this particular uh, iteration of this recording that I never picked up on before. And I remember the original album and the way the label looked around on the center of the album itself. And that was one of those memories that I kept in my head for some reason. Obviously, this is a solid red label that we saw on this record in this particular uh, video itself. But as I stated previously, in the Fleetwood Mac video I did, um, this album for me was in my head for the longest time the first Fleetwood Mac proper or the first Fleetwood Mac album to feature Buckingham Nicks and first album to kind of start off or cap off that lineup, uh, which would go on to be the de facto lineup for Fleetwood Mac proper um, for the longest time and most successful as well. Um, but this is where it all started as far as having that success. In my opinion, this album itself was the antithesis of that, and really it shows where the sound of the first or the first album featuring Buckingham Nicks for Fleetwood Mac sounded. It shows where that sound originated from. It it really originated here on this album because before that, Fleetwood Mac was a blues band in essence, and in inducting Lindsey Buckingham and Stevie Nicks as part of the lineup really gave them a sound that was unique for its time, but it was a sound that existed prior to that on this album itself. And there's only a few songs that have ever made it off of this album prior to now. So I really am excited for this, and I hope that you will pre-order this, even if you've never heard this. I guarantee you, you will love this. This is one of those few occasions where a debut album has no bad songs and is solid from beginning to end, and I stand by that with this album. There are some amazing songs on here. Crying in the Night, uh, Long Distance Winter, uh, uh, um, Frozen Love, and uh, I believe um, that the song Crystal is also on this album as well, albeit a different version than we heard on the self-titled Fleetwood Mac album, not to be confused with the first Fleetwood Mac album years earlier, featuring the original lineup of Peter Green. Uh, but I digress. Definitely pre-order this. You can do so via the link for this actual video itself in the description below. Do not miss out on this album. This is Rob with Media Awareness, and I will see you all again soon. Have a wonderful morning, noon, or night wherever you are. Take care. Bye.